Well, hello everybody, welcome back to Fairhead Farm. I hope you're all doing very well. As you join me in the first field that we are starting some recovery work on. This is a small grass paddock. Oh, it's only about, well, 30 seconds down the road from the farmyard. And as you can see, it's in a fair state. We're going to stop here actually and I'll show you exactly what I mean here, because it is pretty, well, pretty terrible. First of all, it is full of weeds, as you can see. Some of them are nearly up to my chest height. But then the grass itself is very stalky. It is very thin. There's nothing really there. And what is there has gone to head long ago. So it's all pretty terrible. So what we're doing is we are topping it all off. There's no seeds here yet on the weeds. We're a little bit ahead of it there. So we won't be... it's a very good time to get everything topped off here. We're going to cut it down and we're going to follow it and see how it goes and maybe spray it if we need to. And then we'll try and get a late cut of hay off this. It's only June, so we've got plenty of time. If we can maybe, I don't know if we can find some slurry from a farmer somewhere, or pig slurry or something perhaps. See what we can do with that. But that is the plan, and get this into some better shape at least. Yeah, so the case is out and about. There's still lights flashing on the dash. Speaking to this one of the guys who used to work here, and he said the parking sensor is just a faulty sensor. That's why that light's on, and that the flashing warn sign is on because of that. So we're gonna go with it really, and we'll see how we get on. Topper on the back here is working well. We're in the 5150, which is gonna be the staple workhorse for us really now, because the other three tractors have pretty much gone. Well, they've been sold. They're not on the yard anymore, and they are, I believe, they're awaiting collection at the auctioneers. So they're out of our hands, and we got a good amount of cash flow coming in, which is great because, well, as we discussed last time, we need to get this farm working again, and we're going to split up how we use the money that we had coming in for those, and be a bit clever about that and see what we can do. So, I mean, some of them did better than expected. Some of them probably did a little bit worse than expected, actually. There we go, just a bit of a thick bit there. So we sold the Case Puma, the Maxim 115, and the Farmall 100C. So all three tractors, varying hours on them, but fairly new for the most part. The Farmall being the oldest by some stretch there, but the other two were valuable machines actually, and they sold. We put a reserves on them, but really we just needed them to be gone. So the Farmall we actually sold for about £37,500, which I think is an absolute steal for that. I was expecting that one to have a lot more competition, but it unfortunately didn't. But 37.5 grand we'll take. The Maxim 115, which is a really like small to medium sized tractor these days, but plenty of use for us still. That one went for just under 40,000 all in. Again, I was expecting a bit more, but there were a lot of tractors there that day, so maybe it was just the unfortunate luck of the draw. And then the big guy, the Puma, that had the most hours on the clock there, and that went for 65k, which was, I was expecting something around that actually. So I think that held his price and did quite well given the hours on the clock there. Immaculate condition. And we sold one of the vacuum tankers as well. We kept the other one, but we sold that one for about 7 grand too. So that's the good news. The bad news was, after a little bit of inspection and reviewing of some statements and some documents, the butterfly mowers that we had were actually on hire purchase. So they've been returned, but we couldn't sell them obviously because they weren't fully ours yet. So they've gone, and we didn't make anything on those, so unfortunately we're down. And the forage wagon is still at the yard. That's not been taken away yet. So we've got a little bit more that we can sell, and we'll have to have a look into that one. And then we'll show you what the next jobs will be really when we get back to the yard there. So we've got a bit of cash flow coming in at least. Now we're going to try and probably split that half and half for now. Half of it will just go straight onto the loan, and then the other half we'll keep as working capital, because we will have to still pay loan repayments, and we'll have to make sure we have money to actually buy things on the farm, because I don't have an overdraft that I can actually go into at the moment. So that will be priority number 1. And then we need to get a few bits of equipment that we can actually work with. I need a mower of some description. Haven't got one of those. I'm going to have a chat with the dealer and see what they've got. See if we can pick something up, because there is some grass that we can cut here today. or this month at least. I want to get a couple of silage off. There's a field just over the fence line over there, over the hedge. That will be one option, and that's in good condition actually. It's not the thickest crop in the world, but it's looking okay. So I'd love to get some mower that we can do that with, and then we just get that bit that I missed. We've got a baler, we've got a tedder. I'd like to try and find a rake of some sort as well. If we can get, like, even if it's just a single rotor rake, something that we can get going with at least. Because if I can, where possible, I'd like to prevent having to go through... Oh, we've just slowed down here for a second. Yeah. I would like to prevent where we can going through contractors for everything. Probably for the arable work, definitely. Definitely the combining and the drilling there, for example. We don't have a plow yet either, so probably that as well. But we'll see. We need to get those fields into shape. We do have a mulcher for those ones. They might get sprayed off first and then mulched in, but we'll see. We will see. Just gonna get this little triangle here knocked out nice and quickly. And then we'll all be set. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. It's nice to get into this tractor, at least get some work done with it. The sheep we're going to be increasing our sheep numbers because that's where we're going to have to rely on our bulk of our income coming from. So we'll be buying a few more head of sheep and getting those all settled in. And then, yeah, we'll see where it goes. But there's a lot to do, an awful lot to do. And there's a lot of logistics to figure out still. I think for now, we're going to keep the telehandler for now. And just see what that looks like and how we get going. I had thought about maybe if we've got enough ground to do it, on making some silage bales that we can sell off at some stage or another. I know this year's been challenging for many a farmer because last year's summer was terrible. So some people didn't get their third cuts in. So it might be worth just, if we can, grabbing a bit more, and we can be there to sell it if we need to. But yeah, this is some beautiful fields to be working in around here. Absolutely delightful. And this is the first run out on the tractor for a while. First time it's done any work there. I think it'll be good for it just to get it kind of run back in again. And it's been great. It's been fine. This will serve us really well, this machine, as we get ourselves going. So I'm really, really pleased to see how we get on with this. Oh, right then. Let's get that little bit done there. I missed it. Yes, it did. That hasn't taken too long to do, and that field will really benefit from that one. As you can see, there's not much left lying on the deck there either, because it's just not good stuff. Alright, so back to the yard. It's a bit of an awkward field on the hill here, but I guess that's going to be all of our fields really. Okay, so heck of a view though today. Alright, well, we are all set. We'll take ourselves back to the farm there. We'll have a look at the finances, and then we'll decide on the next step. Like I say, it will be, run of the order will be to get ourselves some, run of the order will be to find out where we can do for sheep, and how many heads of cattle or heads of sheep we can actually increase. Because that would be a pretty important thing for us to do. And then we'll be able to hopefully, yeah, like I say, look to try and find a cheap mower if we can, and pay off that debt there as well. And that'll be the big thing for us to do. It's June, like I say, so when I'm thinking about the farm cash flow coming in, it will predominantly be through wool and sale of lambs. The lambs obviously won't be sold until late spring at the very, very earliest, so we'll need to hold off on that one. Now, where can I stick this topper? Yeah, that is a heck of a drop down there. Actually, I'm not keen on that, must say. Go back around here. So we'll probably just go and take this all the way around, stick it in the shed with all the other equipment that we're keeping. This is quite wide, so I don't think it would fit in some of the narrow sheds. It could stay outside, but I like where possible to keep my own gear out of the elements. So we'll stick it into here. In front of the other one. Perfect. We'll leave that there for now. So yeah, this is everything that we're keeping so far, at least, and the telehandler, of course, and the New Holland L90. But that's all the machinery that we will be keeping a hold of, and everything else we're gonna say goodbye with. I'm hoping to get a good bit of money for this forage wagon because it seems to be fairly new, and that can help us out. Speaking of finances. So our current loan is £567,000 with a phenomenal interest rate of 3.5 at the moment. There, you don't get that many places. And if we head on down to our finances, you'll see we're at £154,613. So we can pay off a bit of this loan here. If we're at 154,000, let's maybe go and pay off the 67,000 to get it down to an even 500. Make special repayment. And there you go. So, that's taken off a bit of a chunk of it, which is good. We've still got plenty of money with our repayment rate of just over £3,300 a month for the next, many years. What's 20 years right there. So, we will keep just chipping away at it, really. But that does leave us, like I say, with plenty of money that we can buy a few things when we need to, but we'll also be able to service the debts that we have as well, because, well, that's quite sizable. Sheep we're going to bring in, so let's look into getting that done now and adding them all, getting our herd size where we want it to be, and that will be ideal to do that, really. So we will probably use this one over here, I think. Start with this at least, and then I want to be over that side. I want to be over this side here. And then, yeah, let's see what we can add in from the livestock standpoint. And then, so, we don't really want goats. That seems quite ambitious, let me tell you. So, we will go... How many can I get in? 60 at 11,500. And this can take 70. So, let's do that. And then, we'll have to buy a top as well. So, let's go for... that one there. Oh no, just maybe one will do. One will do. And then we'll get it. Is there any like mules that we can bring in? A mountain sheep. Apparently they're Welsh somehow. Not sure how that works. But let's go for that one. No, that's a ram. Don't want that. And we can bring in 9 lambs there and maybe just fatten them up as well and sell those on. See how that goes. All right. So, lamb, sheepsies. I don't know why they're on slats in here, but they are. But what we will do is get the telehandler over as well, give them a bale, and then they'll be good for a little while, and we can plan our next moves. Now where on earth did I leave everything? There it is. Perfect. These silage bales in here, I have no need for them. I can't feed them to the sheep, so we'll probably just end up getting rid of those, I think, some way. Might bring in a bit of money. I like the layout of this farm, though. It's going to be good for that. We've got the fairly new sheep shed on the back side there as well, which I think can take a few more. So we'll definitely look to try and do that, and just to slowly increase our numbers, because there, like I say, this is where we can really make some money. We'll double check our finances very short. You see what we've got left. Oh, let's just get them fed first. They won't feed there, will they, silly? It's gonna be around here. Still figuring out some of the little bits of this farm. Oh. There you go. They've got feed. They'll be happy. Perfect stuff. And they probably need another bale over there as well. And we'll get to that one very shortly because I did give them some actually, so this should be okay. Alright, so let's first of all just have a look at the animals over here as well. See how many more we could get there if we can. I need to move a few of these piles of logs around because, well, they're all in the way. Right here we can get another 20. So we'll probably leave that like it is so they've got room to grow. That number I'd ideally like to be a bit higher. And we'll have a look into that one, and we'll try and get some on the hillside there as well soon, because that is where we need as many livestock as we can afford, because we need to make money, and that will be the easiest way. Again, we'll have a quick look at our finances here. We're now sitting at 74,000 after spending money on that loan and buying in some sheep, so we can buy a mower. I don't know if we have anything that we can buy here. That's not going to help anybody, so it doesn't matter about that. Don't need a big one. We'll probably just go. Well, we definitely will go for a single mower. Not that one. Too expensive. Too expensive. Too expensive. That would be better to get into our fields, but 22 grand is a lot. I mean, I'll do a job. Probably. 3.4 meters as well. It's quite a lengthy boy. No. And then 10 grand. Oh, that one's too long. I don't really like that. Sticks out an awful long way. These ones are a bit smaller. That one's probably not ideal. Then you've got these guys as well. Now, I've used these Pottingers a lot. They are a good mower for sure. They really are. Definitely the mower that would make the most sense. Put a green logo on there. Why not? And that comes down to 8.5 grand. So 8.5 grand for that is not all bad, really, in my book. It's what is that about? Maybe 5-6 grand cheaper. Yeah, I can't really say no to that. That's almost a rake in of itself there. So we'll have to go for the biggest one we can. Put a swath plate on the back. Sure, why not? And then that one could even be driven by our New Holland as well, which is good to know. But yeah, let's buy that. And then I need one more thing. I got a tether, I haven't got a rake. $6 grand. Ooh, don't think I can go wrong with $6 grand. $3.4 versus 3.5. Takes it by a foot. Okay, so let's do that one then. And then we've got ourselves a system we can get going with, I suppose. Okay, right. Shame there's nothing in there. That's annoying. We'll keep an eye on that. But now we have everything that we need to make hay. We need to sell that off. Sprint over here. And we've got a tether, we've got a baler to bale it with, we've got a rake now, and we've got a mower, so we're all set there. We've got solid fertilizer that we need for any fields and or new crops. I might put that onto some of the grassland because we don't have any slurry, so we could do that. We've got a spreader to put it on there with as well. What we do need to do though is maybe just sell off this last piece of the puzzle to go, and that can bring in a little bit more money there. So we'll come on down. And we'll go to forage wagon, 57 grand. Wow. It's gone. And that brings us back up again as well. So we are probably now back into the 117,000, which is probably a little bit too much for what we need as a capital. So again, maybe why don't we just go and pay off another, let's go 30 grand we'll pay off. And then that'll be just under 100 grand that we've paid off already. So we can go special redemption. All right. So we're now sitting at 470. So we've paid off £105,000 of the loan already, which is great. Well, not quite. Sorry, actually, beg your pardon. It's 567. So £97,000, which I like. That's great. And that will give us a little bit of breathing room. And we've still got money to play with if we need to, and well, when we need to, really. So that is fantastic. I'm going to go and take the case now. We'll just disconnect this, and we're going to drive down and pick up the mower, I think, first, so we can get going. See how we get on. So I do like the sound of this thing. It's very, very nice indeed. Listen to that. So next steps will be to get that field that we can cut and knock down, work on these two, these arable fields that are pretty much ruined, and then try and get this farm back up and working, really get some more, try and sell those silage bales where we can as well, get a bit more money coming in that way, and just ultimately get the farm working for itself. Once we do that, we're laughing. And with that, we're going to get ourselves going here. We've got one field reclaimed, a couple of fields that need to be worked on. We need to get a contractor in soon, I think, to start some handiwork for us. And then we will be on in this field making hay before trying to get some more made on top of the hill as well. So lots to do. We're getting there. We're making a bit of money. There is something on the road. I'm not sure what that was. And we'll see how we get going. So we'll bring you another episode next week. Hope you do join us to see how we're progressing, see how our first hay harvest goes here as well. And we will be trying to make it as profitable as we can, one way or another. Until then, though, thank you very much for watching as always. I do hope you have enjoyed. I have been Simulation for the Nation. If you like this kind of thing, do please consider giving it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more as well, and we will see you all in the next one. Till then, do stay safe, enjoy what you're doing, and we will catch you later.